You know you're in for a rushed product when they didn't even replace the Japanese rock like they did with the previous few games. Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Mega Man X6. First off, these are the options I'm going with, and also right off the bat, I'm actually going to be inputting something. I'm going to be pressing L1 3 times and R2 once when the game start is selected, causing that confirmation sound to play. That'll come to play next part. But with that, let's get right on into it. One thing I should mention, though, is once I press game start, there's going to be a loading screen. Loading screens are only going to be shown off primarily in this part. From part 2 onwards, they're going to be edited out, similarly to X4 and 5. Either way, let's start off with some plot. Yeah, that's right! X6 brought back voice acting in Japanese only. I don't know why they didn't bother to dub it. I'm going to assume that timing was a thing. So because of that, I'm going to do the usual thing and read it out in English. What happened? I heard they avoided the collision. But they might as well have failed. And for this, we should be thankful? This is not all. Something else is going to happen. I feel uneasy. What is this? Huh? This is debris. But what from? Was there any violent battle here? I wonder how many people and Reploids were sacrificed. Wait. This is... 1 week later. It's finally done. I'm going mad and it is so liberating. No, the plan has only just begun. I'm going to bring all low-grade Reploids into submission. Those too simple to understand my work. I'll build an ideal world only for Reploids. A wonderful world where I control everything. X. Wake up, X. Now you're the only one. There's no one else left to fight. Get up now. X. X! A giant Maverick is acting up! Wake up! I'll send the detailed info later. You rush to the scene. Oh, that's a wake-up call. Thanks, Alia. Most of the mechanoloids became Mavericks. It's been a long time. Stay alert, X. I'll be fine since I have the armor. And Saber. Since I fixed the Falcon armor very quickly, the dash function is incomplete. Alright. Anyway, I'll stop the mechanoloids. Okay, go to the entrance of the ruins ahead. Well, we're starting right off with the Falcon armor, similarly to how we had the 4th armor in X6, and it's mostly the same. We still have ducking and everything. However, its flight function has basically been turned into an air dash. Mostly because they realized, you know, if we gave them that at the start of the game, it would be incredibly broken. Though, speaking of broken, similarly to X5 and 4, you can get the ultimate armor basically right off the bat by pressing left 3 times and right once on the game start option. And that's an improvement right there from X5. See that little icon on the bottom right? Pressing select will actually bring up an Alia conversation. They're no longer forced on you. If the buster fails, use the Z-Saber. Yeah, it's time to ask for Zero's power. X has the Z-Saber on the triangle button at the start of this game, and it's not too bad. It's not as powerful as I would probably like it or as fast, but it's their way of balancing it out so X can be like, okay, I have a close range option, but you really want to be at long range with me. It doesn't help that a lot of the things they want you to destroy with it are coming towards you and have way too much health on them. Now, earlier, I brought up that this game is a bit of a rush job. I meant that. Let's go over the release dates. In Japan, X5 was released November 30th, 2000. X6 in Japan was released November 29th, 2001. Not even a full year. And in America, it's even worse. X5 was February 1st, 2001. X6 was December 4th, 2001. 10 months. And it shows in quality. honestly, as we'll see as we go through. The starting stage, though, is not too bad. They kind of do a decent job of showing you everything you need to be doing, how to use the air dashes appropriately and such, Saber and all that. Decent music, too, and I'll go on to say, X6 on the whole is meh as it is. Great soundtrack. Probably not my favorite out of the PlayStation games. X4 goes to that in my heart, but damn good. There you are. Are you all right? Beyond here's a giant mechanoid. It's suddenly activated due to a radio wave problem. We're afraid and we got hurt. I'll take care of this. Return to Hunter Base now. Alright. It acts like it's possessed. Be careful. Also, you might have noticed by now, the dialogue has some weird phrasing every now and then. They basically just transliterated everything from Japanese. So there's gonna be grammar errors abounds. Either way, time for our intro boss, who continues the trend of really big, but really easy. Also, hello sound effect that would later be used in Halo. This guy, I actually don't even know how he attacks. You have to just target the little drone behind him. Just use your Z-Saber on it, and it goes into a large stun period, which allows you to not only dash underneath it after it tries to get back up, but immediately hit the core again. This fight is not hard, and it should never be hard. If you die at this fight, well, I don't know how you got this far, honestly. It says something that the hardest out of all the intro bosses on the PlayStation X games is the wolf guy in X4. Either way, that's that fight over with. Hopefully you got used to the controls by now, because they're going to start throwing stuff at us pretty quickly. Ah, that's still there. Wait, what? Zero? Why were you dyed purple? And why are you also alive? Because you kind of died at the end of the last game. Zero? Wait, what? Another boss, I guess. Hello? Oh, well, you're just eerily floating down. I knew Zero was doing this. Who are you? Hi, Max, I am called. I'm investigating the Zero Nightmare. What? Did you say the Zero Nightmare? What are you trying to do? What is your connection to the Zero Nightmare? What about Zero? You're the one behind this. You are dangerous. I'll dispose of you. This, I'll be blamed, is an unwinnable fight. You're either just supposed to last a certain amount of time or take a certain amount of damage. That's about it. I hate these kind of fights in platformer games. I don't mind them so much in RPGs, but in games like this, they just feel like a waste of time. But man, if we can't damage this guy, he must have some thick armor. Maverick Hunter. Not amazing. We will destroy the Zero Nightmare. You are not wanted here. Keep out. I couldn't inflict any damage on him. Hi, Max. The Zero Nightmare? Huh. Did I dream about Zero? What's happening? Well, that's the end of the intro stage. And this is our results screen. We're going to be seeing more about this later this part, so for right now, we're just going to go through the report section and head right on over to the command menu, I believe, which is where you can save the game. The save system is more or less the same as last time, but it actually shows more of what you're actually doing. It'll show you all the items you got, all the parts we're going to eventually get, how we have the wrong memory card in, so we have to place the right one in. And it'll even show you some extra information that will foreshadow some stuff we're going to be doing later on. So right now, let's just go in. Oh, hello. Attention all Reploids on Earth. As you know, these are chaotic, disturbing times. The nightmare is upon us. It shows Reploids a kind of dream for human beings. No, it is a nightmare. The nightmare makes Reploids confused. In the worst case, they may malfunction or delete themselves. Due to the space colony incident, there are few Reploids or humans are left on Earth. Oh, that's the first of many, people. Grammar errors. We won't accept sacrifice anymore. This would bring us to the Earth crisis. Taking the matter seriously, we have sent investigators to the 8 suspected areas to uncover the mystery of this nightmare phenomena. It's said that the nightmare phenomena are caused by a ghost of Zero, known as an ace Maverick hunter. What? What are you talking about? Wait, X, let him finish his story. Now, I'd like to call on volunteers. Unite with us and help our cause. Work for these 8 investigators. Our goal is to wipe out the nightmare and delete the Zero's ghost. Come together for our future. That's 2 for the count so far, by the way. This High Max will lead the mission. We guarantee your safety if you join us. Both Maverick Hunters and Reploids now suffer. Let's preserve our future, together! We're waiting for you, everyone! How dare! He talks about Zero that way. That's clunky. I'll add that for another one, that's 3. Zero gave his life to save us. It can't be helped now. Actually, we saw the nightmare too, shaped as Zero. So we also need to investigate what the nightmare is. For now, leave Isoc and High Max alone. I wonder what are those suspected areas he mentioned. I'll let that one pass. That's clunky, but it's understandably clunky. Can you find out, Alia? No, due to a strong jamming, I can't look into it from here. So I've got to go in there blind. Maybe I'll be able to feel the nightmare directly. Besides, I'm suspicious of the investigators. The nightmare. The mission is risky. But we must minimize the damage by uncovering and defeating it. As Isoc said, we cannot allow any more Reploids to be lost. X, return to the Hunter base now. Roger, I'll be back right away. We are now beginning our mission to check the 8 areas that Isoc had sent investigators to investigate the nightmare phenomena. But considering the situations of the Maverick Hunters, you are the only hunter who can accomplish these difficult missions. As we've lost Zero, you are our only hope. Can you do it, X? I'll do it. I've just obtained the report on the nightmare areas and the investigators sent to the areas. However, the details of the situations in the areas are still unknown, due to bad radar transmission. Also, in case any changes occur in the nightmare area, I'll show you by a red signal. It is difficult to predict what the changes are, though. That's okay. I'll know when I get there. I'll discover what the nightmares are and what Isoc's intentions are. Don't push yourself too hard, X. Remember, you are our only hope. Roger. X. What is it, Alia? Nothing. Just be careful. Some Reploids may accept what Isoc says is true and come to the nightmare areas. If you find them, secure them and then send them to the Hunter base. The Reploids you have rescued can be surveyed here by pressing the R1 button. And if you obtain any items, I'll process them into parts you can use. You can equip the parts with the L1 button. Good luck, X. And now we're thrown right in with reign over who we want to go after first. Honestly, only 2 of these Reploids, Mavericks, or investigators technically, maybe 3 are good first choices, so I'm going after the usual first choice for about 70% of Let's Players, I'll be completely honest. Captain Yanmark. And we're going in as Falcon Armor X, because it's just better than plain X. It's a nice enough boss intro theme. I still miss the classic. Either way, throughout the entire stages, Alia will be contacting us through the prompts on the bottom right. I'll be reading most of those throughout the game, I should mention. This is the Amazon area. I can't understand the situation there from the Hunter base. I wonder if the nightmare caused this jamming. Well, let's find out. Also, hello, Incan Temples in the background. It appears to be a transport mechanoid. It has a loading space on its back, so you can use it as a platform. Alia is very inconsistent about what she'll teach you about, but more importantly, that was a Reploid. Every one of the 8 levels has 16 Reploids for you to rescue, totaling out at 128. You want to rescue as many as you can because they'll not only give you parts to help your survivability, but they'll also recover your health and give you an extra life. Also, hello first Dr.Light capsule already. X, I wonder when peace will return. I wanted you to live in peace, and in a warless era. But we must put an end to this nightmare. Forgive me, all I can do is give you this armor. However, for security reason, the armor won't work until the 4 programs combine. Collect 4 programs to complete the armor. Now, I will install a foot program of the blade armor. This program will enhance your dash performance and enable you to perform the mock dash. You can dash while jumping, and you'll be invincible in the beginning. For the Earth, for the future. Good luck. So yeah, X6 also brings back the system from X5 where each one of the 8 stages has a light capsule in it, and you can only use the armor pieces once you have all 4. I am still not a fan of that system at all, really. Oh, hello there. Alia, I've got some unusual data signal. It must be the Nightmare. Stay alert. That black enemy is what's known as a Nightmare virus. Every stage has them. And when you defeat them, they drop a blue orb known as a Nightmare Soul. That's a bit of a currency thing. The more you get of those, the more your rank goes up, allowing you to equip more parts. And the Nightmare Souls themselves have a bit of a numbers game to them. When they first drop, they are worth 8 souls. They'll eventually shrink, though, if you leave them around long enough, then they'll become 4. There are 2 more, but we'll see those more when it comes to the boss fight. Either way, kill as many souls as you can get, kill as many nightmares and get their souls as fast as you can. When you defeat a nightmare and the small blue soul stays around long enough, it'll reform into a nightmare virus, though, so be careful with that. And when you kill the reformed nightmare virus, you won't get any souls from it. At least not until the stage gets a red signal, in which case then all the nightmares will renew. Spike's still instant kill, by the way. Now, one thing that X5 has that I'm not going to be able to touch onto until next part is that every stage has alternate pathways. This looks like it's one of them, and I honestly was thinking ahead a bit here, but instead what's down here is just our first major collectible, a heart tank. There are 8 heart tanks, one in every stage. However, you don't want to give them all to one character. You'll see what I mean about that next part. The transport mechanaloid can stand on the spiny trap. You can use it, X. Try to ride on it. So this is our way to avoid these spikes. The Falcon armor actually does allow you to still get a good amount of mobility in this game, even with that nerfed air dash. And honestly, out of the 3 armors that we get in the game, the Falcon armor is the one I find myself using the most for the main stages because that air dash is really good. Even if the charge shot is a bit smaller, and I would rather have the plasma one that the ultimate armor would give us. But the ultimate armor would break the game too much for me. This game might be broken on its own merits, but I'd rather break the game another way if I have to. Now, one thing I should mention in terms of a disclaimer for this series is that this is basically a complete 100% run. I'm going for max Nightmare Souls. I'm getting all 128 Reploids. None of them are going to get hit by the Nightmare virus, which is a thing I'll go over in a moment. And I'm not getting the worst ending. I am getting both of the good endings. Now, in terms of what I mean by the Nightmare virus getting the Reploids, if a Reploid is on screen and there's a Nightmare virus near it, it will prioritize heading towards that Reploid, in which case it'll infect the Reploid and it'll become basically just another Maverick. And in that case, you can't get the item from it ever again on that save file. If you want to go for all of them, you basically have to restart there or reload a save. The item that they drop can never be attained, and they'll just be listed as missing in action. However, you can also kill the infected Reploid to get a Nightmare Soul from it, however that will be listed as killed in action. So be careful there. Either way, I got a strong data signal. It should be from an investigator. The investigator here is Commander Yanmark. To be on the safe side, be sure to set up the weapon. Alright, I'll do it. Now, for future reference, I believe that Commander Yanmark is weak against Infinity Maginians, whipping off the top of my head. God, that must be annoying to hear that flying around all day. You're the Nightmare Investigator. Commander Yanmark? Yep, I'm in charge of the Amazon area. Tell me, what's Zero up to? You must know something. Zero has nothing to do with this. Stop accusing him. I won't trust both the Maverick Hunter and Reploid Researcher. I don't know what you're thinking. I won't end up being betrayed and deleted. I'll delete you first. Now, I should mention that if I recall, the manual has backstories and all the Mavericks, but it's just not really worth it. Either way, Commander Yanmark is the prime first choice because he just sits around for the most part during this fight. He'll send his options around, and they'll just fire lasers at you, more or less. You can duck under a lot of them. When he's below half health, he gets a new attack where he can renew his Yanmark options, but he'll also move and fire lasers simultaneously. He can also spawn more options the less health he gets. However, as you can see, that Charge Shot really eats out his health. Not a very hard Maverick. And that's basically it. That's why he's the prime first choice. And for beating a Nightmare Investigator, we're going to get one of two things. Either a green Nightmare Soul, which is 200 souls, or if you take too long with the fight, a red Nightmare Soul, which is 100. That's all 4 types of Nightmare Souls. I'll go over exactly how many Nightmare Souls you need for rank next part. And now for the true mission clear screen. Basically, they go over your general stats for the thing, for the stage. Then we go over the weapons we're going to get. Let's take a look at that. You found a mysterious item. It's related to the Nightmare. Let's call it the Nightmare Soul. Collect the souls to increase ranking. As your Hunter ranking increases, you'll be able to equip parts. The higher your ranking, the more you can equip parts. When you achieve the GA rank, you'll be able to equip limited parts. Unlike the other parts, limited parts should be equipped at the weapon select screen. Don't forget that you can use it one time only. I'll get more into that later. We got the Yanmar option. Dragonflies help you in offense and defense. Basically, it's a shield weapon combined with a laser weapon from the classic series. And the rescue list. This is where you see the amount of Reploids you rescued. On the first playthrough Commander Yanmark stage with where I did it, I can only get, I think, 10? And obviously not every single Reploid has an item as you're seeing, but it is worth it. The life up and energy ups basically permanently increase everyone's HP and weapon energy though. And we also get the blade-like parts. Commander Yanmark, an ex-investigator in the Amazon area. He was a Reploid created for the Nature Preservation Project. He burnt the forest by control disorder. He wasn't accused of the incident, but someone altered Yanmark's flying system. He crashed and died. He was created by my colleague, Gate. And that's where we get basic little backstory bits on the Mavericks. It's there, I guess. But with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2, we'll be heading into more stages, but also going into a few more elements that X6 brings to the table. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys then.